At 18 minutes past 9, we're going to get into some TV. OTB AM live in association with Gillette. Good morning start with Gillette, giving you the confidence to tackle the day ahead. Owen, what have you been watching over the last couple of weeks?
I'm still stuck in my never-ending loop of The Sopranos and lots of Premier League football. That's basically
what's happening in The Sopranos at the moment? Give me a...
Oh, I've just started season 6, the final season, a couple of episodes in, and since I've been last talking to you, I finished off season 5, which is extraordinary. It is the best part of the entire TV show to date. And the start of season 6, episode 1, is just absolutely incredible as well. So the second last episode of season 5 and the first episode of season 6, I would say, are two of the best episodes I've seen in the entire series so far. But as we discussed last week, will the early seasons have more of an impact on me on the rewatch? Once you start to get to know the intricacies of the characters, I've got a feeling that there's a lot more content in the first couple of series that went underappreciated from my point of view because it was my first time watching it.
Look, the rewatch is a joy, but the podcast series, once you know what happens in the end as well, or how everything unfolds, is also quite a joy that unfolds slowly. I got a text from Owen at 10:30 on Saturday morning. Jesus effing Christ!
Spoiler.
The way they kill off whoever in The Sopranos. 10:30 in the Saturday morning, you're like, I have to get up and watch this. Normally it's like 4 in the morning you're watching this stuff, but you're like, no, I'm going to bed, so I've got a clear mind so I can watch them kill off my favourite characters.
Well, this is a very important conversation, and I've got into debates with my friends about this before. When is the best time to actually watch television and watch movies? I would say it is first thing in the morning. You and I don't have a bad bio clock. We do this thing every single morning of the week. So come Saturday, you're up at 8 or 9 as long as you're not out on a Friday night. Nobody's out on a Friday night at the moment. So I'm up at 8 or 9 on a Saturday morning anyway. So what are you going to do? You're going to throw on The Sopranos or whatever you're watching. You're going to throw on a movie and watch it first thing in the morning. I watched Parasite first thing in the morning last year, and it was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. Watch your culture first thing in the morning, guys. You're never going to regret it.
Sue Murphy, good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
When do you watch your culture?
When I'm awake, I suppose in the evening, because when you've a 1-year-old running around the house all day, you can't really watch something. I try to do that, but it's impossible. So once she goes down, I actually set up a TV in the kitchen a couple of months ago because I was like, I can't do this anymore. So there's one in the kitchen, there's one in the sitting room, there's one upstairs, and there's one in the back room. So I watch TV in pretty much every room.
What?
But yeah.
What?
Yeah, but it's part of my job. Like, a lot of my job is like watching new series, and if I don't know what I'm talking about, then it's not worth doing it. So I'd set up TV basically anywhere I can watch it, so I can watch as much as I can.
You would understand my point of view here perfectly, Sue. It is literally part of your job to pay attention to what you're watching. You don't see, of course, you see it as a form of relaxation, sure, but you see it as a professional facet of your very being. And do you not work best in the morning? Do you not wake up and use all your senses to enjoy and be fully tuned into what you're watching, no?
Yeah. Again, when you've a 1-year-old at 5:30 in the morning, it's that's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Excuses.
Owen, do you get dressed on the Saturdays where you get up and watch The Sopranos at 10 o'clock in the morning? 9:30 it must be, because, you know, she only dies at the end.
Yeah, sometimes actually. Yeah. Like
good spoiler.
Good spoiler there, right? Yeah, sometimes it depends. Like maybe I might be going for a run afterwards, so I might put on a pair of shorts. Maybe I could be ready to go somewhere. Or if not, I would probably get dressed. I might even put on a pair of shoes to watch an episode of The Sopranos.
I feel like we know too much about Owen now.
No, look, this is important. This is how you find out about people. Look, I actually think that it's okay to have spoilers about something that finished 13 years ago. You're in the middle of it, so I'm not going to give you any right now. But it's okay for us to say what happened in something that finished 13 years ago. That's legit. No?
It's legit for you because you've seen it. If I spoiled it for you, you go absolutely demented.
I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You can spoil The Crown, no problems. I haven't seen it.
Well, I think we need a moratorium on spoilers until everybody's vaccinated, is my point, because a lot of people are watching back old stuff. And I think once you get vaccinated, then we should be back in the sphere of, okay, there's a statute limitations on spoilers, I think. But right now, no, spoilers are off the table, in my opinion.
Okay, some breaking news. Michael Darragh-Macaulay has just retired. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show.
Every time I log into this, is another person who's retired from Dublin.
It's retirement season. It's Dubs' retirement season. this week, last week, and I think next week as well. There'll be some more as well. So, Sue, what are we watching?
What are we watching? WandaVision. And I came across, I actually didn't hear much about this because it was kind of touted around when you go to the Disney, what they tell you is everything that's coming up for the next couple of years. They kind of say we have this. And I felt like everything was gone because of COVID. So they weren't going to do all of these massive films. Some of their, like the Black Panther was put off because of what happened. Like a lot of things just went by the wayside. WandaVision was one of those things that I thought was going to disappear. And then suddenly it was out. And they released it last Friday. They have 2 episodes every 2 weeks. And it follows 2 of the characters from the Avengers. If you're put off by superhero movies, don't be put off by this, because it's not like you have to watch 23 Avengers films to understand what's happening. It's nothing like that. It's kind of like a nod to the old 1950s, 1960s sitcoms. So there's 9 episodes. The first one was a kind of a I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke kind of thing. Now the second one was Bewitched. I mean, even the starting credits are amazing. I grew up with Bewitched. I absolutely love it. So it's kind of a nod to that. But it's in the background.
Reruns of Bewitched. You grew up with reruns of Bewitched.
Yeah, reruns.
Yeah,
I thought you meant the 90s.
Wasn't it made in the 50s?
The 90s band.
Oh my God, yeah, it was 50s, yeah. Those, and they went into 60s, yeah. But no, I definitely wasn't watching the original. It was reruns. But we had 2 stations when I was younger, so it was the only thing that was on. But yeah, it's that kind of nod to 1950s, 1960s sitcom. So it's really weird when you're watching it first. Like it takes a long time to climatize the first episode because you have no idea what's going on. But something bad is happening in the background and you kind of see flashes of color because it's shot in black and white. And then there's this weird symbol that comes up every now and again, which I'm sure Marvel and Avengers fans will be able to tell you more about. But it's very interesting. Like I couldn't stop watching it. And I went into the second episode and couldn't wait for I looked up the third one straight away. So I think it's gonna have a broader appeal than just being a superhero thing, but also stick with it because it's not what it seems, if you know what I mean.
Go on.
Well, it seems that in most superhero products that we have, it's usually generally a young single male. This is a married couple. I'm speaking to 2 married people at the moment. Does this fill you with joy to see finally you've been put on the front foot in a superhero television show?
Well, to be fair as well, this isn't a spoiler. Well, it is a spoiler. If you've seen the Avenger film, Vision's dead. So it's kind of, you kind of get the feeling this is coming from Wanda's point of view. So it is actually, right. Which I feel is kind of becoming a thing now. It's like, how do we make all the female superheroes? Because they promised that the Black Widow film is coming as well. So it is, he's very much in the background. It doesn't feel like, even though he's part of the married couple, it's very much happening to her as opposed to him. So
you just given a spoiler for something that's actually current that there's only been 2 episodes of. And you're giving out to me for giving spoilers that something happened 13 years ago. You said your man's dead.
But no, that happened in the films.
But I literally haven't seen any of those films.
Well, you're not going to watch them now.
Vaguely tempted to watch WandaVision, and it's like, no point actually. Don't worry.
No, it's not. No, that's not giving anything away because it can be set in any timeline because it's completely separate from everything that happens. But you just get the impression that because he's not alive in the Avengers universe anymore, that this is coming from her point of view, and she's kind of imagining that this is their life together if it did happen. So, but the characters are brilliant as well, by the way, because it's Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, and they're very, very good. She is playing up the Samantha and Bewitched thing, and the I'm so funny in the hands, and I just really enjoyed it. It was very, very good, and it's kind of nice to see a new production coming from Disney that's not the same as all the other ones, you know.
Okay, so that's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, and there's another 2 episodes Friday, and then they're going to release another 2 episodes, so it's 9 altogether.
I would definitely wait till the end of everything has been out, so I can watch those at my own pace, as opposed to having to wait a week. I find that now something that we had to do when we were children, and I no longer want to do that because technology has moved on.
I don't agree with you. I think that I always feel like you should respect how the director wanted it to be seen, if you know what I mean. So if somebody released 2 episodes and then 2 episodes, they wanted it to be watched in a certain way. Now, maybe
I don't think the directors make those decisions, though. That's the decision of the company.
They do for me.
The company who pays it,
yeah, but if you're watching something week by week, I think it just sinks in a lot more. I think if you're binge watching something, you can get into 5 or 6 episodes and be like, what the hell was happening in episode 1 again? I just think when you get away from WandaVision for a couple of episodes, you're thinking about it a little bit more. If you watch it in one big long binge, it kind of ruins it a little bit sometimes, you know.
Okay, well, we can disagree on that. What else are you watching? WandaVision, what else?
Actually, one of the things I watched last night was One Night in Miami. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. It's on Amazon Prime. It came out last week. I'd watched a half an hour of it, but when they give you the screeners for these things, they're usually like a link just for your laptop, so you can't cast them anywhere or anything. And so you're just watching a laptop. And about a half an hour in, I went, I actually want to watch this in a big screen because it's very, very good. It's a story of Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. And it's just after, he was Cassius Clay at the time. And it was his big win on a study listing in Miami. And the rumor was that the four of them went back to a hotel room afterwards and nobody really knows what happened. Did they have a party? Did they discuss civil rights movement? And it's kind of like a rethinking of what happened around that night. It's fascinating. It's directed by Regina King. I'm sure you remember her from If Beale Street Could Talk. She got an Oscar for that. She's worked in a couple of things as a director. She's put her time in, doing a couple of series and a couple of episodes here and there, and this is her first big production, and it's excellent. The four guys who played the four lead roles, not massive stars, haven't been in a lot of things before, but it's just a very interesting idea of these four guys who were so popular and so well known in the midst of a huge civil rights movement. What were they talking about? What happened in that room that night? And that's just obviously all speculation, but that's what she deals with here. It's very good. Dips a little bit in the middle, gets a little bit boring, but towards the end, it's just fantastic. Really, really good.
So it's a movie?
It's a movie, yeah. I have to say that the guy who plays Jim Brown, is absolutely incredible. I'll just, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he is excellent as Jim Brown. There's this scene where he goes, one of the guys that he was a massive fan of his, he goes back to where he was from, lives a hugely rich guy, huge plantation house, and they're out talking on the porch, and your man says, oh, I need to go and move some furniture, and Jim Brown goes, oh, I'll come and help you, and he goes, oh, we don't let people like you in the house. And it's just this realization of, God, he's the biggest guy in the NFL at the time, huge fan base, and one of these guys is so proud that he comes from the same area that he's from, and he still doesn't even want him in the house. It's brilliant. There are little nods like that all the way through to what's happening at the time. It's just excellent stuff.
Okay, so there's One Night in Miami, and it's on Prime. What else?
The Missing. This is actually an old series that I couldn't believe was on Amazon Prime because I couldn't find it. When stuff disappears off BBC, it's really hard to get on the BBC player. But this is so good. It's Julian Baptiste is the detective in it. There's two different series and they deal with different stories in the two different series. The first one is a young boy who disappears in France, and the second is a young girl who disappears. And there's a tie-in series then called Baptiste that's on Netflix. That's kind of his story as well, but all different detective stories. But they're brilliantly written. The two guys who write this, Harry and Jack Williams, their script is excellent, and the twists and turns, you won't see a lot of them coming. But it was 2017, I think, the first series came out. So you might have missed it, and it is so worth your time. It's really, really good. Really good if you're looking for something.
It's called The Missing.
The Missing, yeah.
And that's on...
It's on Amazon Prime. So when some of the titles come up, you're kind of like, oh, that doesn't actually look that great. I think the photo on it actually doesn't do it justice. It is a brilliant series.
And Baptiste is on Netflix?
Baptiste on Netflix, yeah.
Is that any good?
Yeah. They're all brilliant. They're all BBC productions, all written by the same guys, all the same kind of ideas, really, really good thrillers. And you really, you can't just dip in the middle of this. You have to pay attention from the start or you won't know what's going on, which makes them brilliant.
I watched Lupin. It's decent. The French Sherlock Holmes.
I haven't got to that yet, but everyone's raving about it. And another one that just kind of appeared on Netflix out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's obviously French. And it's good. I mean, if you like Sherlock Holmes, then you will like this.
Yeah, I think a lot of those kind of escapist thrillers are so popular at the moment as well, and people are just looking for something that's 2 or 3 series that they can really binge on because they're just sitting at home all the time.
Yeah, now this is only 5 episodes, and there will be a season 2. That's again, I was like, oh, I wish I'd waited to watch this until the season 2 was out. But anyway, I didn't, so I have to wait now.
No, patience.
All right, Sue, good stuff. Thanks a million.
Thanks a million.
Let's see with us every Thursday, telling you what to watch on whatever platform you have.